The dream home you are wishing for could actually be the very trap that ruins your life. Stop for just 1 second and think. You spend your whole life working to buy a house. You believe it will be a safe place, a place of happiness for your family, a place where dreams begin. But what if I told you that very house could become the source of pain, of failure, and of despair? Hello, I am Master King Feng Shui. For more than 41 years, I have helped world leaders, entrepreneurs, and thousands of families across the globe unlock. People come to me not just for advice. They come because they know my methods truly deliver results. From Wall Street executives to everyday families, I have helped countless people transform their homes into powerful magnets for wealth, health, and lasting prosperity today. Because even one Feng Shui tip you learn here could transform your entire life. And I am about to reveal to you 3 extremely important things you must know before buying or building a house. Because one wrong decision could cost you an entire lifetime of unhappiness. Right now, leave a comment with this affirmation. I am choosing a home filled with light, peace, and prosperity for my family. We are living in an age where urbanization is happening at an incredible speed. Everywhere you look, new neighborhoods, rows of townhouses, and modern developments are rising every single day. Many people believe that the more choices they have, the easier it will be to find the perfect home. But the truth is the opposite. The more choices there are, the easier it is to make mistakes. You see a beautiful house with modern design, a central location, and an attractive price. You believe it is your dream home, but if you only judge with your eyes and ignore Feng Shui energy, you are gambling with your future. A home is not just a place to live. It is like a living body with a heart, with blood vessels, with flowing energy. If the house is healthy, it will support you, protect you, and lift you up. But if the house carries negative energy, it will become an invisible burden weighing on your family every single day. You may not notice it right away, but over time the signs will appear. Money slipping away, health declining, relationships growing tense. That is why you cannot afford to be careless when buying or building a house. Because the decision you make today will shape your peace, your happiness, and your prosperity for many years to come. Listen to me carefully here, because this could save you from mistakes that most people end up making. In over 41 years of studying and practicing Feng Shui, I have witnessed hundreds of families fall into crisis simply because they ignored the most basic principles. Some lost their entire wealth. Some ended up divorced. Some suffered from ongoing illnesses with no clear cause. And it all began with choosing or building the wrong house. That is why I want to share with you 3 foundational principles. 3 extremely important things you must know before making any decision about your home. If you truly grasp these, you will be able to walk into any house with confidence, instantly knowing whether it will support your life or destroy it. Principle 1. Location and surrounding environment. Before you think about design, furniture, or paint colors, you must first understand one truth. The location of your house will determine the majority of your future. A house does not exist in isolation. It is like a living body, always connected to the flow around it. If the environment is harmonious, the house becomes a place that nurtures health, wealth, and happiness. But if the environment is chaotic, it can turn into an invisible trap that drains your family's energy. I want you to imagine standing in front of a house. You see a road stretching straight toward the entrance. If that road points directly at the main door like an arrow, then energy will also charge straight into you. That is not life-giving energy, but a harsh force, bringing tension, conflict, and unease into the home. In Feng Shui, this is called piercing heart sha. It is like a rushing river, one that doesn't nourish, but only sweeps everything away. There are houses blocked right from the front, a huge old tree, a large utility pole, or even a power transformer stands before the door. These obstacles act like a wall pressed against the mouth, preventing energy from entering, leaving the house stagnant, and pushing the family's life into deadlock. I once saw a family who bought a beautiful house at a good price, but right in front of it stood a power pole. Just a few years later, their business collapsed, their health weakened, and they were forced to sell the house at a much lower price. The location had sealed their fate from the very beginning. On the other hand, A well-positioned house will make you feel peaceful the moment you step in. The front is open, with clear space, greenery, and abundant light. The surrounding streets are lively, yet not overwhelming. Just like healthy blood vessels circulating smoothly through the body. Living in such a home, you feel a gentle stream of energy nourishing you every single day. I once visited a family living on a gently curved street. With a small park in front, they told me that ever since moving there, their business had thrived, their children excelled in school, and their family was filled with joy and harmony. They didn't need a grand mansion. That location alone was enough to bring prosperity. The danger is, many people only look at the exterior beauty or the tempting price, and forget that location is the one thing you cannot change. You can remodel the living room, repaint the walls, or rebuild the entire house, but you cannot move a road charging into your door. You cannot silence the roar of a freeway right beside you, and you cannot relocate a cemetery or landfill sitting just behind your property. The location of a house even shapes your state of mind. If you live where it is always noisy, you will become easily irritable. If there is a dark, empty lot behind the house, you will feel uneasy often. If negative surroundings press on you, your spirit will grow heavier year after year. But if you live where there are trees and open spaces, you will naturally feel healthier, happier, and more balanced in life. The ancients said, first is location, second is direction. This means location outweighs everything else. It is the foundation of the house. If the foundation is weak, the house will collapse sooner or later. If the foundation is strong, then even through storms, the house will stand firm. Location is the energetic foundation of your entire life. Always remember, the right location will support you, protect you, and help you rise higher. But the wrong location can become a burden that drags you down day after day. So when faced with a choice, don't let appearances or price deceive you. Ask your heart, does this place give me peace? Or does it give me unease? That answer is the signal of the energy the house truly carries. Principle 2. House orientation and the main entrance. If the location of a home is like the soil where seeds are planted, then the orientation of the house and its main entrance are the soul that determines how those seeds grow. Think of the house as a living body. The main entrance is its mouth, while the house's orientation is the way that body faces the world. If the mouth takes in toxic food, the body becomes sick. If the house opens in the wrong direction, negative energy flows in, bringing instability to your life. In the U.S., many people choose the direction of their house based on sunlight, the view, or simply personal preference. They believe as long as the house gets morning sun or has windows with a nice view, everything is fine. But Feng Shui doesn't operate on preference. It's based on the interaction of land orientation, energy flow, and the birth chart of the homeowner. A direction that seems perfect for one person can be a disaster for another. I once met a couple who bought a house with a large front door facing a wide street, with bright sunlight pouring in all day. They thought it was a symbol of openness and prosperity. But within 2 years, the husband's career declined, the wife's health weakened, and the children argued constantly. When I inspected the home, I found their main door opened directly toward a direction that clashed with the husband's birth chart. The energy flowing in each day was like a current running against the grain, not nourishing, but constantly eroding. After they adjusted and redirected the entrance, their life gradually improved. The husband's work stabilized, the wife's health recovered, and the family atmosphere became much lighter. Another common mistake is when the front and back doors align in a straight line. When this happens, all positive energy entering the home rushes straight out without staying. Imagine pouring water into a glass with a hole at the bottom. No matter how much you pour, it keeps draining away. Wealth, luck, opportunities all fall into the trap of in through the front door. Out the back, the house may look bright and spacious, yet the family constantly complains about never being able to save money and happiness slipping away. You must also understand that the main entrance is not just a physical doorway. It is the primary point where the house receives energy. If there is a blockage in front of it, the flow stops. If it opens into a cramped space, the energy becomes suffocated. If it opens too widely into chaos, the energy becomes scattered. Balance is the key here. A main entrance with the right orientation, opening into a space that is bright and open, is like a radiant smile welcoming in good energy. House orientation is equally critical. It is like the posture you choose to face the world. If you turn your back to the sun, you miss the light. If you face harsh winds, you must constantly struggle. A good orientation not only welcomes light and fresh breezes, but also aligns with the homeowner's birth chart, allowing energy to flow into the home and nourish everyone inside. I always emphasize, the wrong orientation is no small matter. It can shift the course of an entire life. Many don't believe this until they realize they've been working twice as hard as others, but only achieving half the results. They don't see that their very home, the place that receives and distributes energy each day, is pushing them against the current. Picture two homes standing side by side. One has its entrance aligned correctly. The other does not. The first family lives comfortably, with good health and abundant finances. The second family constantly argues, struggles at work, and lives under a cloud of unease. Same neighborhood, same environment. Yet one small detail of orientation and entrance creates two completely different destinies. When choosing or building a home, you can compromise on many things: wall color, roof style, even room size, but never compromise on orientation and the main entrance, because this is not just design, it is the soul of the house. Your home takes in energy through its front door every single day, and that energy flows directly into you. If the entrance opens in the right direction, you will feel supported, confident, and at peace. If it opens the wrong way, you will always be pulled into a cycle of exhaustion and instability. Principle 3. Shape and energy flow inside the house. If location is the soil and orientation is the soul, then the shape and energy flow within the house are its very breath. A house that cannot breathe is like a body suffocating. Sooner or later, it will breed illness and decline. Many townhouses or narrow urban homes share a common trait: long, cramped, and lacking natural light. At first glance, they may seem neat and practical, but after living there for some time, the suffocation reveals itself. The energy flow runs straight from the front door to the back with no pause, creating imbalance like a rushing river that leaves no water for the soil. Families in such houses often feel drained, find it hard to keep money, and experience strained relationships. Another mistake is designing long, narrow hallways, like an arrow piercing straight through the house. When energy races in a straight line, it becomes impatient, restless, never settling. This directly affects the mood of the residents, making them irritable, tense, and prone to conflict. I once visited a luxurious apartment with polished wood floors and high ceilings, but its long, spear-like hallway disrupted everything. The family told me they didn't understand why their children argued constantly, and why the couple had little patience with each other. The problem wasn't the people, it was the way energy was being forced to move through their home. Light is also a critical factor. A house without windows, or blocked by other tall buildings, becomes gloomy. You can turn on lamps all day, but artificial light can never replace natural light. Without it, energy stagnates, yin energy builds up, and the human spirit gradually sinks into heaviness. I have seen homes where families slipped into depression, simply because they lived too long in dim, airless spaces. By contrast, a house with a skylight, open windows, and gentle breezes flowing through is like a body that knows how to breathe. The energy moves freely, weaving through every room, refreshing the entire space. Families in such homes often sleep better, feel more relaxed, and live in greater harmony. They don't need extravagant furniture. Just the natural flow of energy is enough to nourish both spirit and body. The shape of the house also carries great weight. A square, balanced house is like a strong, healthy body, stable and grounded. But an irregular, missing corner, or L-shaped house, is like a body missing a part. It creates energy voids, and those voids often manifest in life. Unfinished careers, broken harmony in the family. Interior layout also determines energy flow. If furniture is crammed together, blocking pathways, the flow suffocates. The house becomes like a person with a clogged nose, struggling to breathe. Living in such a space makes people restless, unfocused, and their work seldom flows smoothly. Meanwhile, a home that is neat, with space for energy to move, is like a person breathing deeply, filled with vitality. Remember, Feng Shui is not just about placing decorations to invite luck. It is about how energy moves, how light enters, and how balance is held in shape and layout. A house may look beautiful to outsiders, but if energy cannot circulate inside, it will slowly erode the health and happiness of those who live there. When you choose or build a home, don't just judge from the outside. Step inside, take a deep breath, and feel. If you feel light and at ease, that may be the sign of harmonious energy flow. But if you feel heavy or fatigued, listen. Your body is telling you the house does not know how to breathe. A truly Feng Shui-aligned home is one that breathes with you, retains good energy, and releases what is harmful. It doesn't need to be extravagant or dazzling. What it gives you is far more precious. Balance and peace in every moment of life. These three principles may sound simple, but they form the foundation that decides the fate of a home. If all three are in harmony, the house becomes a source of positive energy, bringing prosperity, health, and happiness. But if even one is misaligned, the home can turn into an energy trap, gradually draining you over time. When it comes to buying or building a home, most people fall into the same repeating mistakes. These mistakes often come from ignorance, impatience, or placing trust in the wrong things. I call them sweet traps, because at first glance, they appear harmless, even attractive. But once you fall into them, the consequences can last for years, weighing heavily on your entire family. Let me point out these common pitfalls, so you can avoid walking down the painful path that so many before you have taken. Mistake 1. Buying a house just because it's cheap. No one can deny that price is an important factor when purchasing a home. But the problem is, many people look only at the price and ignore everything else. They see a house that's cheaper than the market average and immediately think it's a golden opportunity. But the truth is, if a house is too cheap, there's always a reason. It might be in a bad location near a cemetery, next to a polluting factory, or at the end of a road that shoots straight into the main door. I once met a couple who bought a house priced at only 70% of market value. They were thrilled, believing they had struck the deal of a lifetime. But within just 1 year, they were constantly arguing. The husband lost his job. The children were sick all the time. When I inspected the property, I discovered the house sat at the very end of a long road that pierced directly into the entrance. This is piercing Hartsha, one of the most dangerous Feng Shui patterns. They had paid a heavy price for the bargain they thought they had found. Mistake 2. Choosing a house for its attractive appearance. Many people are easily seduced by homes with modern architecture, luxurious interiors, or listings that boast European-style design. But remember, outward beauty does not guarantee inner energy. A house may be painted in bright colors and tastefully decorated. But if its layout is flawed and the energy flow is blocked, all that beauty is nothing more than a shell hiding the truth. I once stepped into a stunning villa with tall ceilings, huge glass doors, and expensive furnishings. But the moment I entered, I felt heavy, suffocating energy. The reason, its front door lined up directly with the back door, causing all energy entering the home to rush straight out without lingering. The homeowners complained they could never keep money. The harder they worked, the faster it slipped away. This was undeniable proof. Appearance alone will never be enough to guarantee prosperity. Mistake 3. Blindly trusting agents or advertisements. The real estate market is always flooded with sweet-sounding promotions. East-facing homes stay cool all year. Rapidly developing area. Prices rising fast. Golden location with excellent feng shui. These phrases are repeated again and again to trigger the buyer's emotions. And many people, lacking true knowledge, believe them without verification. But remember, real estate agents have one single goal: to sell the property. They don't care whether you are happy after you buy it. That's why you cannot rely solely on their words. A house may be advertised as good direction, yet that direction could completely clash with your birth chart. A piece of land may be promoted as a golden location, but in reality, it could sit right next to a noisy highway, leaving your family constantly stressed and drained. Mistake 4. Ignoring light and airflow. A home without natural light and fresh airflow is a home filled with heavy, stagnant yin energy. But many people overlook this. They get convinced by stylish interiors, by trendy wall colors, and think artificial lighting or air conditioning can fix everything. But artificial solutions can never replace sunlight and fresh air. In Feng Shui, the home is seen as a living body. Light and airflow are its very breath. If the house cannot breathe, it becomes sick. And when you live there, negative energy clings to you, making you feel tired, gloomy, and lifeless. Mistake 5. Building a home based only on personal preference. Some people design their homes thinking only, what do I like? They choose colors, shapes, and room layouts based purely on personal taste. But Feng Shui does not bend to personal preference. It follows natural laws, and if you try to force your home against those laws, the consequences will surely appear. For example, many L-shaped houses look unique and stylish. But in Feng Shui, an L shape represents loss and imbalance. Families living in such homes often face struggles in their careers or constant disharmony in relationships. Another example is placing a bedroom directly above the garage. This exposes the sleeper to restless, chaotic energy from the cars below. As a result, they often feel uneasy, sleep poorly, and carry that exhaustion into daily life. Mistake 6. Only viewing a house during the day. One mistake few people realize is visiting a house only during the daytime. In daylight, natural brightness can hide many issues, but at night, the flaws reveal themselves. Noise from a nearby bar, streetlights beaming straight into the bedroom, or a neighborhood so empty and silent, it makes you feel uneasy. I always advise my clients, if you are truly serious about a house, visit it both during the day and at night. Listen to the sounds, observe the lighting, and feel the energy at different times. Don't be fooled by appearances that only look good temporarily. Mistake 7. Believing Feng Shui is just superstition. One of the biggest barriers that causes people to make mistakes is dismissing Feng Shui as mere superstition. They think it's nothing more than mystical stories without foundation. But Feng Shui is, in truth, the science of energy flow. It is built on thousands of years of observation about how the environment directly impacts human life. When you reject Feng Shui, you throw away a powerful tool that could protect your family. It's like refusing to get a medical checkup because you believe illness isn't real. And by the time problems show up, it is often already too late. These mistakes may seem small, but their impact is enormous. One wrong decision when buying or building a house can turn your dream home into a nightmare. Always remember, by avoiding these mistakes, you protect not only your finances, but also the health, happiness, and future of your entire family. Now, leave a comment with this positive affirmation. I am awakened and making wise decisions to choose a home that brings prosperity and happiness. Before you make the decision to buy or build any house, give yourself the chance to pause and observe. Because there are things the eyes can see, the heart can feel, yet most people ignore in their rush. When you stand before a house, don't rush to judge its paint color, its interior, or its price. Instead, let your body listen to the energy of that place. Do you feel relaxed? Or do you feel tense? Is the air fresh and open, or heavy and suffocating? Sometimes, your intuition gives you the answer before your logic even has time to analyze. A good home always has a harmonious connection with its surroundings. If the front is blocked by a large obstacle like a utility pole, an old tree, or a tall building, you will sense confinement, as if energy is being stopped right at the door. If the house sits at the end of a road pointing straight into it, you will feel uneasy, as if an arrow is always aimed at your chest. These are not superstitions, but warnings that the energy there is unsafe for you and your family. When stepping inside, pay attention to light and air. A home filled with brightness, with windows that welcome the breeze, with natural movement of energy, will make you feel light and free. But a house that is dark, poorly ventilated, and stagnant will quickly create fatigue. And no, you cannot replace natural energy with lamps or air conditioning. Finally, try to imagine your life within that house. If you can clearly see yourself and your family happy, at peace, sharing beautiful moments together, that may be the sign of harmony. But if the image that arises is one of exhaustion, arguments, or instability, trust that the house is not meant for you. A wise decision begins with careful observation and listening to your true feelings. When you do this, you are not just choosing a house. You are choosing your future. There are houses where, the moment you step inside, your body instantly feels lighter, your mind becomes calm, and a wave of comfort spreads throughout you. On the other hand, there are places decorated with luxury and modern interiors. Yet the moment you are inside, you feel pressured, gloomy, and exhausted. This is no coincidence. It comes from the energy the home carries within itself. And Feng Shui is the way we understand and adjust that flow of energy. A Feng Shui-aligned home is not just a shelter from rain and wind. It is an invisible force, constantly working day and night to support and nourish your life. When the energy of the house is balanced, money does not drain away meaninglessly, but gathers. Your health is not worn down by gloom and stagnation, but replenished by natural light, fresh air, and flowing energy. And most importantly, family relationships are not broken by invisible clashes, but nurtured in harmony and warmth. I have witnessed countless stories that prove this power. A businessman once complained he worked hard, but money never stayed with him. When I visited his home, I saw his front and back doors aligned in a straight line, causing all wealth and energy to rush out the moment it entered. After adjusting the layout to retain energy, his finances improved dramatically. I also met a family whose members often fell ill, their children constantly suffering from respiratory problems. They believed the cause was the external environment, but the truth was their home lacked light and ventilation, creating a heavy, suffocating atmosphere. After redesigning the space to allow energy to flow, the health of the entire family improved, and there were couples on the brink of divorce who regained warmth in their marriage simply by relocating their bedroom to the correct position. A Feng Shui-aligned home is like a silent companion. It does not boast. It makes no promises. Yet every hour of every day it shapes your life. It helps you sleep deeper, work more effectively, have more patience with loved ones, and most importantly, it keeps alive your faith in a prosperous future. Remember, Feng Shui is not superstition. It is like gravity. Whether you believe it or not, it still exists and affects you. A home with true Feng Shui is the invisible foundation of success, health, and happiness. And when you live in such a space, you realize that a home is not just a dwelling. It is an energy machine propelling you forward in life. A home is not only where you live, it is the foundation of peace, the root of health, and the cradle of prosperity. One wise decision today can open many years of happiness for your family, but one wrong decision can become a burden that clings to you for a lifetime. Do not let your dream of a home turn into a nightmare simply because you rushed or dismissed Feng Shui. Always remember you have the power to choose. You can choose just any house, or you can choose a home that nurtures energy and uplifts destiny. The difference lies in your hands right now. If you want to continue receiving insights that protect and guide your future, hit subscribe and join the journey ahead. And before you leave, declare this powerful affirmation for yourself. I deserve to live in a home that nurtures love, health, and complete prosperity.